It just doesn't happen in any other stadium. And let's face it, some teams don't even have their own Hall of Fame. But in St. Louis, opening day is off the charts. And it's because of the men behind me, 16 Cardinal Hall of Famers. And we had a chance to catch up with 4 of our favorites. What was it like to hear that ovation one more time at Busch?
It's awesome. I mean, first of all, the best city to play in baseball, and let alone it's the best opening day that you can ever experience as a ball player. And yeah, I got to experience it again, so it's pretty cool. Thank you.
I tell you, I was getting goosebumps because, opening day is like, the first game of the season. All the things you're doing all season to get prepared for this moment. And, see the Clydesdale go out and go around the stadium and just waving to the fans, man. Opening day is huge.
Getting back out here and getting in that convertible and riding around and having my camera out and video and sending some of that to my wife and my daughter without having indigestion and stress about the game that's pending, was pretty cool.
I love the stories about you and Whitey Herzog, and the connection and the relationship is still really strong. Tell me about it.
Whitey was such an inspirational, was a great fan, meeting his wife, meeting his whole family. And I remember meeting Whitey's wife one night after the ball game. She said, "You stole my husband." He comes home every night and all he talk about how great a ball player Vince Coleman is. And I didn't know how great I was. I was just going out, doing the thing.
What was it like when you heard the news that Albert was coming back?
Well, I think everybody was hoping. There was a talk for quite a while, and then the spring training started, and I didn't know if I know he's been working out and staying in shape and hitting and doing all that stuff. It's just a matter of a team coming up and wanting to offer him, and here we are. So I mean, I'm just happy. One, I'm happy for Major League Baseball that Albert's back and striving for 700, and I'm even happier that he's back here in St. Louis with Yachty and Waino in their final years. It's gonna be great for the city and great for the game of baseball.
La Russa tells a good story about that spring training where you grabbed Tony's arm after Albert hit a home run and you said, "We got to keep the guy." Tell me about that.
It's crazy. I talked about it today, and I remember I was at Roger Dean Stadium. I wasn't playing that day. Albert was put in left field that day, and he made this unbelievable diving catch. And I just remember going to him and said, "If he is not on our team, Tony, this is going to be the dumbest move you've ever made in your life." And then it turns out that that the space opened up with Bobby Mania having a hamstring problem. They put him on the DL. At the time it was called the DL, now it's the IL. But and so there was the opening that he got, and then here we are, Hall of Famer, playing his 22nd year.
This ball club this year with Albert, Yachty, and Waino.
Man, seeing those 3 guys, man, I remember when they first came up playing with them for a couple of years, and now, I'm about to be 55 years old. I said, man, I played with these guys, and they still going. But just the thing about it is just the point that the durability, being able to play this long, it's unbelievable.
So the day Nolan Arenado signed here, everybody started talking, wow, another Gold Glove third baseman. You guys are different. How would you compare your styles defending at third?
Well, I don't know. He's smooth. He's really smooth. He's really light on his feet. Moves around really well. I think I kind of tackled the ball a little bit more. Tried to play a little big and linear, and he gets around. Really has some good hands and handles himself very well and moves very, very well over there. And
there will never be another team like 1985, will there?
We stole 317 bases that year, collectively as a group. Now you had Ozzie, and you had Willie, and you had Tommy Herr, you had Vince Coleman, Terry Pilms, and you had the secret weapon, Jose Oquendo. Will there ever be another team assembled like that again? I would love to see that, because right now, the game right now is pretty boring. You see 30 minutes of action. I went to a hockey game last night, and it was 20 minutes per quarter. It was fast-paced action. Everything's happening, shooting the pucks, blocking and stealing. I had so much fun being at the hockey game last night. It was so much fun. I think the fans are right now being robbed of seeing that type of action, but they knew when they came in 1985 what type of action they was going to get.